Hello, everyone. 6 o'clock on the dot. So we're going to get started in just a moment.
Welcome to the spa and hungry.
You guys know I have to send my mom uh, the link to let her know. And she might be in the chat bot. I think she told me I don't need to tell people that I need to send her the link. So, but I'm gonna say it. So let me do that right now, so she can get her um, select all. We'll start in just a few moments. And while we're waiting, maybe you can put in the chat box where you are, your name, and where you're joining us from. And let me acknowledge you. Oh, I sent that to the kids. I didn't send that to my mom. The girls are probably okay. There we go. Okay, just wanted to send this to my mom. Hey, Sonia in the house. Ooh, can I say congratulations or is it a shh? Is it a shh? If it's a shh, that's okay. But if it's a shh, you got to tell me because you know I don't keep shh that well. You got to say it's a shh. She said it's a shh. Girl's a good thing you responded. Sonia, it's a good thing you responded. That is a shh. Because I was just ready to say it. Now everybody like, what is she talking about? So I got to make sure I keep my uh keep that message up so I don't mess up. We're going to get started in about a minute or so. Let me make sure my mom is in here. Make sure my mom gets in, you guys. You know, you gotta show your mom. You gotta show your mama some grace. She can come when she want. I'm gonna wait a few, like another 30 seconds or so, because we do have a full show today, and I want to get to everything that we need to get to. Let me send them and send it to my. All right. All right, my mom's here, so we can get started, you guys. My mom is here. Hi, Mom. My All righty, so we're gonna get started, and let me do this real quick. Give me 2 seconds. What happens is sometimes, and the reason why I wait is because sometimes uh, YouTube doesn't always. I found out they don't always send out they don't send the notifications out to everyone. A lot of us are finding that out. A lot of us streamers, they don't send them out to everyone. So here we're thinking that people are getting the notifications and they don't always get them. So what I like to do is I like to do a post on my post tab, letting people know, hey, we're live streaming, because people seem to get those posts. So I like to just do that as a way to remind folks so that they're aware that we're going. So we're going to go ahead and get started. First of all, welcome back. We're at day 2. Can you believe it? We're day 2. So welcome back. If this is your first time joining us, or if you are watching the replay, welcome to day 2 of the 2-day personal vision and mission workshop. Let me check my sound too. Okay. So I'm glad you're here. Whether you were here with us yesterday or you're just stepping in today, you're right on time. Okay. And to all my returning sisters and brothers, Y'all made it. Okay, we're back to day two, and I better say you made it because my mom will call me. Why did you say y'all? It's you're made it. Okay, so you made it. You're back for day two, and let me tell you what we're going to be doing tonight. Is going to be really, really rich. Okay, if you haven't met me yet, for some of the people who are new, my name is Colette Elizabeth, and I've been facilitating personal vision workshops since 2013. I spent nearly 2 decades in management with a state agency, hiring, coaching, mentoring, building organizational visions. Um, but somewhere along the way, I realized that people, okay, individuals, okay, we need a personal vision as much as any organization. That's how this work was born, out of a deep conviction. Okay. A lived experience and a whole lot of prayer. So, this workshop is not theory, it's real, and I'm walking with you. So, in other words, I'm doing this for myself too. And I just thought it'd be nice to have some folks to come along with us. So, I want to go over a few housekeeping reminders before we jump in. Just a few reminders for everyone or anyone who's new. Um, and anybody who needs a refresher, that you can ask questions during this uh, workshop tonight at any time. All you have to do is to drop a question in the chat with a Q in front of it. Okay. Again, if you have questions, no problem. Drop a Q in front of your question so that I can, readily identify it. If you're watching this replay from the future, hey, leave comments. You can leave your questions in the comments below. I read and respond to those almost daily. Okay. Now, if you can hear me clearly, drop a 60 or 60 in the chat for me so that I could just see if the sound is okay. Let's see. You drop a 60 if you can hear me okay. All righty. Thank you. Thank you so much. I said this yesterday. I'm going to say it again because I'm so excited. If you're wondering why I put 60 or 60, it's because I'll be 60 in January. So, my mom is on the live. You have to move your age up from 35. I know you still pass for 35, but your oldest child, me, I'll be 60 in January. Okay. And your granddaughter, one of your granddaughters that's on the live, she is 28. So I think it's about time for you to maybe you can move your age up to 35. Even though I know people up to 45, even though I know people don't think you're 45. Okay, you can still pass for 35. Go ahead and move it up to 45. Okay, so if you're ready, drop a thumbs up emoji in the chat. Also, go ahead and drop your name. I've already did that. But for those who are just adding or just coming in, go ahead and drop your name and where you're watching from in the chat. And if you joined us yesterday, you can share, if you want, one thing that you took away from day one. I know my mom had told me inspirational. She was having problems putting her information in the chat. So if you see me looking down at my phone as a workaround, Black women, honey, we gonna work around some stuff. We don't let anything stop us. So as a workaround, if my mom is unable to put something in the chat, she's gonna text me on my phone. I'm gonna type it in the chat box for her. Okay. All righty. So let me look at the comments before we move on. Okay. I have Sonia. I already said that from Fresno. Hey, Sonia. Chineri, my baby from LA. Hi, baby. Sonia said she watched the replay for day one. Very insightful and informative. Hey, Danny from Natural Ally D channel. She said, Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you, Danny. And I want to give her a shout out because she is in Michigan and that's Central Standard Time. Here in California, we're on Pacific Standard Time, which means it's 6 o'clock here. But for Danny, it is 8 o'clock. For people on the East Coast, it is 9 o'clock, and we are saying PM. Okay. So, Danny, thank you so much for being here. Okay. Let's see. Chineri says, one thing I took from day one vision is us rediscovering who we always were meant to be. Okay. That's what my daughter said. And I'm going to. So if anybody else wants to share before we get started, go ahead. And I will be checking the chat pot back and forth. Also, I just want to give you a reminder to give me a thumbs up, give this video a thumbs up before you forget. So we can share this video out with folks. And let me go ahead and get started. So I want to recap day one, and I'm looking at my notes, you all. Okay, so you see me looking at something, I'm looking at notes. I'm not reading them, maybe not. Sometimes I am, but I don't want to forget anything. So we're going to recap one. So let's take a moment to cover what we went over yesterday, because sis, we started strong. We explored the difference between purpose and vision, right? You were invited to write a short purpose statement, okay? And that was your powerful why. If anybody wants to share theirs, feel free to do so and put it in the chat pot. We began uncovering your personal vision, what you want to see for your life. We talked about how vision starts internally and gets clearer over time. And you reflected on the beginnings of your own vision. Those are the things that we covered yesterday. I want to go over what we're going to cover today. Tonight, we'll be moving from vision to mission. Okay. If your vision is what you see, then your mission is what you do. Okay. It's how you carry out your purpose day by day, moment by moment, in alignment with your God given vision. We'll explore what a personal vision statement and a personal mission statement are, and I'll walk you through how to begin writing each one. Now, I want to say this before we move on. Today, even though we're going to start looking at what the personal vision statement is and the personal mission statement is, we're not going to necessarily write them out today. We will be writing out our personal mission and vision statement during the 5-day challenge. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. Okay. Then we'll bring it all together with a simple framework that you can use to write your statements for specific areas of your life. And again, I'll go over the specific areas a little later. Now, what I want to do is I just want to get into the meat of today's lesson, or excuse me, today's workshop. I want to get you in and out within 60 minutes or so, because I know you all had a lot going on today. So I want to make sure that I am respectful and I honor your time. Okay. So let me look at the comments before we get started. Uh-oh, went to the wrong one. All righty. So, Sister Cheryl, is that my cousin? Oh, yeah. Hey. So my cousin, who is the oldest cousin on my father's side, she likes to identify herself as the oldest grandchild. She says, good evening, cousin. Glad I was able to make it. I'm so glad you were here. Oh, Danny says that it's 9 o'clock there for her. Oh, well, girl, I feel special. Thank you so much. I'll get you off because I know you got to go to work. L. Smith says, hi, all from San Miguel, Mexico. Hey, we got Mexico in the house. I know that's right. Day one takeover. Oh, day one takeaway. A vision is different from a goal and should be divine. Thank you so much. We have Valvina Reese. She says, hi, Colette. It's me, Val. Val, I don't know who that is, but hi, Val. How you been? She said, I'm glad to catch your live. Okay. Hey, how you doing? Okay, so let's get started. Gonna go ahead and I'll just send. Anybody else have anything else they want to add? Oh, hey, okay. How you doing? How you been? Glad to have you. Different last name, so I didn't notice. I didn't recognize it. Okay, so let's get started. So before we dive into tonight's new content, I want to take a moment to circle back to a really thoughtful question that came up during day one's live stream. Somebody asked whether I recommend writing one overall personal vision and mission statement or individual ones for each area of life, like spiritual growth, health and wellness, family, career, finances, and so on. I shared that I encourage people to create a personal vision and mission statement for each goal area. And I want to take a few moments to explain why I gave that answer. I just want to be clear. And, different people see things differently, but when I gave the answer that I recommend that she write a personal vision and personal mission statement for each goal area of her life, um, I say this because each area of your life it carries its own unique purpose, priorities, and responsibilities. Okay. While a general life vision can offer a high level of sense of direction, it often isn't specific enough to help you stay grounded in the daily decisions that matter most in each space. By breaking your vision and mission down into by life areas, you give yourself the clarity to see what you truly are working towards in that part of your life. And just as importantly, how you're growing in that area. So when your vision is specific, your progress becomes visible. You can say, "I'm really growing in this area," and you can see it. Or this is still a work in progress, but I know where I'm headed. Okay, this is not about condemning ourselves. We just want to say, "Hey, I'm working on it." Okay, and that's what that's about. All right. So that clarity it builds a confidence and it creates a momentum because when you see yourself making progress in one area, it often inspires action in other areas. So, for example, let's say one of your goal areas that you're working on is to maybe it's to your educational area. You decide I want to go back to school for whatever reason. And let's say that one of the steps to going back to school is one, starting with research. Where do I want to go to school? And of course, what do I want to study? So you can mark those things down. Hey, I've made some steps, I've made some progress towards fulfilling that goal. And then you look at one of your other goals that you have. Maybe it is spiritual growth. Sorry, I thought I turned this down. Sorry. Sorry about that. I thought I turned this down. Huh. One of your areas is spiritual growth. So maybe for you, spiritual growth looks like spending more time in your word, reading your Bible daily. Maybe you say, I want to read a chapter a day. Okay. So when we break them down, we can kind of see what areas am I progressing in and what areas do I still need a little work in. Okay. It also helps you to make the necessary pivots and adjustments as you go to the specific areas that you're working in, which is much harder to do if you have this all encompassing goal. So if you have a life vision, it's like, okay, I have this life vision, but where am I in it? Okay. So it's not about it's not just about having direction. It's about having measurable, meaningful, personal direction that grows with you. And sometimes you may have to pivot from that thing. Sometimes you may decide, hey, I'm going to jump from working on this goal area to working on another goal area. And that's fine. That's okay. But when you have it written down and you have it separate, You can see, okay, I left off here, and this is where I progressed on this area. I still need to go here. I hope that makes sense. That's why I always recommend writing the vision and mission statements for each goal area of your life. And again, we're going to talk about the different goal areas, that I have and that I focus on, but you may have others. So please feel free to focus on those when we select which goal we're going to work on for the challenge. It's one of the most powerful ways to track your growth, to celebrate your wins, because you should celebrate your wins. As you do something, say, give yourself a pat on the back. I did that. Okay. I did that. And make intentional shifts as your life evolves. So, as one area gets better, or maybe you have to pivot, then you can take that energy and that focus and attention and work on an area that may need it more. So, I just wanted to give more information and insight into answering that question, because I thought it was a very important question to be asked, because a lot of times when people talk about personal vision and mission, we do talk about it in terms of generality. Okay. And that's okay if you still, after hearing this explanation, want to keep it as one big goal. That's fine too. Okay. All righty. Let me check out the chat pot and let's see. Okay. So I'm going to go back to our lesson. So now what we're going to do is we are going to talk about mission. What is a mission? Now, keep in mind, the mission is the how. Okay. So, what exactly is a mission? If the vision is what you see, then the mission is how you get there. Mission is what you do day in and day out to fulfill your purpose and bring your vision to life. It's the bridge between it's the bridge between why you're here, okay, and what you actually do about it. It's the action plan, the daily walk, the consistent, intentional movement in the direction of your calling, okay? And for those of you who are new, I want to explain that you don't have to worry about writing everything down. If you don't get everything that I say, that's okay. Um, Immediately after the live stream is over with, the replay will be available, and I will keep those up for a couple of months. Also, yesterday I meant to share with you how you can access the transcripts. So if somebody can remind me near the end of this session, I will let you know how you can do that. The other thing I did not mention is for people who want to, I think will allow you to put the CC and you can get subtitles. I think it'll let you do that with the replay. Okay. So I want to get back to mission. Mission is your roadmap. Mission is your personal GPS. Okay. You already know where you're going. That's your vision. But your mission is the route, the step by step way you show up, you serve, lead, love, and live. Okay. So if you have any questions about mission, then go ahead and put those in the chat pot. Don't forget to put I keep saying chat pot. Chat pot is uh, that's on Zoom. This is the chat box. Okay, so next we're going to get into the vision and mission statements part of our session. Now, we've talked about vision and we've talked about mission. So now we're going to talk about the statements that are reflective of this vision and mission. So, first, let's talk about a personal vision statement. And before I get there, let me just check the chat to see if there's any questions. Okay, no questions. Okay, so let's move on. What is a personal vision statement? By now, you've done some deep work. You've reflected on your purpose, your why. Okay, you started to think about how your purpose informs the bigger picture of your life. Okay. And if I can say something, going back to the question about the general vision, this is where you can be general, okay, is with your purpose. Because that general purpose, it is informed by what you were put on this earth to do, what you were created to do, right? And then we start doing that based on in different areas of our life to kind of drive us towards and support our purpose. Okay. So today we're going to focus on your personal vision statement, what that bigger picture looks like when it is realized. Let us begin with a simple definition. A personal vision statement is clear. It's a written declaration of what you want your life to look like in the future. So, what it answers are questions like, where am I going? What do I see for my life? What am I working toward? Again, your personal vision statement answers, where am I going? What do I see for my life? And what am I working towards? Why the vision statement matters. In other words, what is the purpose of the vision statement? Is it provides meaningful motivation when things get hard. And they will get hard and they will get tough, okay? And you're going to want to cry, the ugly cry. I've done it a couple times this year, okay? It helps you to stay focused and disciplined. Why? Because you can look at it and see, okay, I'm here and I want to get over there. How do I do that? And we'll talk about that with the mission statement. It reminds you of your purpose and future goals. Remember, we talked about how those are tied together, okay? Keeps your eye on the bigger picture, the end that you have in mind. So basically, when we start writing our vision statement and our mission statement, we are writing those statements with the end in mind. So we're kind of like reverse engineering, right? We want to go here. And so we're going to reverse engineer so that we can, lay out the groundwork, lay out the foundation of how to get to that place. Okay. Your personal vision statement keeps your eye on the bigger picture. I said that already. The end in mind. And it is a commitment that you make with yourself to keep showing up for your life. What I love about the personal vision mission statement is this is about you. It's about your life. It's about how you are going to work towards fulfilling the purpose that God created you for, because we were all created with a purpose in mind. Okay. I believe it's Jeremiah 29:11 says, I know the things, okay, I have for you. You know, is that it? Let me see. 29:11. Let me check real quick. I think that's it. Or that might be no, it's I know the plans I have for you. Let me see. Somebody look it up and tell me if I'm correct on that and put it in the chat box. That might be the one that says, I knew you. Anyway, put it in there. Cheryl, somebody. What a vision statement does. And basically, we're going to talk about the function of a vision statement. It's more than just an idea, it's your personal plan of action. A good personal vision statement outlines your goals and aspirations. Okay. It helps you to break that big vision into smaller, manageable steps. Right. We talked about how we're reverse engineering where we want to go. It creates forward motion by building urgency and intention. Right. So when we're looking at our personal vision, we kind of know, hey, we got to start moving on this thing. And it's not about being perfect. It's not about having pressure on ourselves. It's about progression. Okay. The vision statement encourages you to make progress, right? Not perfection. And I do want to note here, um, I used to teach vision statements as something you attach a hard deadline to. But over the years, I have evolved in my thinking around that. Now I believe in progress over pressure. Okay, we're not trying to rush divine timing of anything. We're stewarding our vision with grace. And the first person we're going to show grace to is ourselves. A lot of times, as Black women, we are so busy, women of color, we're running here and there. We are showing everybody grace but ourselves, right? But part of having a personal vision and mission statement for different areas of our lives is our ability to show ourselves grace. It'll help us to show ourselves grace. You heard me say earlier, there are times when we'll look at an area and we'll say, hey, that's still a work in progress and keep it moving. Okay. So let me check to see if there are any comments, questions. Okay. Hey, Amari Torre. She says, ooh, not the ugly cry. Yes, the ugly cry. I did the ugly cry a couple times. I did it. Okay. My daughter Chaneri says, yep. Amari says, that thing that's greater than us, that keeps us going. I love that. Yes, yes. Janeri says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Okay. So if the Lord has those plans for us, we need to concur with the Lord, be in agreement with him. And what can we do to walk this thing out? Okay. Glow Guest said, do you recommend having multiple vision and mission statements for multiple gifts, talents, or should I encompass everything into one? So, Glow, one of the things that I talked about earlier, and first of all, welcome. Welcome. I haven't seen your name, so welcome here. One of the things I recommend that you do, Glow, guess is Gloria. Is this Gloria? Now, is this my Gloria? Okay, I can't figure that out right now. Y'all trying to mess me up here. So is my Gloria. So one of the things I recommend that you do is to have it for different areas of your life. And we're going to talk about the areas. Yes, you have talents, like some of us can speak well, some of us can write well, some of us can play piano and do the different things. Some of us cook well. And so, what would happen is once you are deciding on that one area that you're going to work on during the challenge, the 5-day challenge, you would use your gifts to help you make that personal vision a reality. Okay. So, it's kind of like if you're driving to LA. Okay, let's say you driving to LA and you in one of these counties that's out somewhere. Now, I'm bad at directions. I'm horrible. My mom is excellent. I am just not the best. If you want to get somewhere, you don't want to ask me for directions. Well, some people have the gift of reading a map. We don't really need to use maps anymore, but even when we had them, I couldn't read them. My mom could read maps. That's a gift she has. My mom knows how to get somewhere, a shortcut. That's a gift. So the goal would, or the vision would be, okay, we trying to get to LA. Okay, the mission is how are we going to get to LA? So what how the gift works is the gift helps us to determine how we going to work that mission to get to our vision. My daughter also has a good sense of direction. Me, hey, you can't have all the gifts. All right. I hope that answers your question. And if it doesn't, let me know. I'll try to think of another way to answer it. So, purpose, vision, and mission. What's the difference? So, when we talk about a purpose statement, which we talked about yesterday during day one, the focus of the purpose statement is why. Okay. That answers the question why I was created, what drives me. That's the focus of the purpose statement. The vision statement, The focus is the what and the where. It answers the question, what do I see for my future? Where am I going? Okay. And I do want to say that's helpful because we need to know what the starting point is. So I mentioned the example about Los Angeles. Okay, well, where are you starting from? Where are you coming from? If you're going to Los Angeles, where are you coming from? Right? And so that's why, when we're thinking about our personal vision and our mission, we talk about our purpose. Okay. And then we make an assessment as to where are we in relation to our purpose. And it's not about judging ourselves or condemning ourselves. It's about being real, right? Because life happens. And a lot of us had goals and things, in different parts of our life, right? Different age groups. When you were 20, you had one goal, 30, another goal, right? And so they change, and we always have to make reassessments and refinements, right, as we go along. Okay. So the vision statement, the focus is what and where. What do I see for my future? Where am I going? Now, the mission statement, that's the how. How will I live this out? How am I going to get to LA? Okay, this is where you would use your talents. You know, some people may have a talent to fly a plane. So, hey, I'm going to take my talent of plane flying and I'm going to go to LA. Some people may have a talent of riding a motorcycle. My brother Billy, he's always on a bike. Okay. He might be on a bike now. Okay. He might decide, I'm going to take my bike to LA. Okay. So, how will I live this out? What am I doing every day to fulfill it? And again, this is about progression, not perfection. The vision plan, also known as the plan of action. Once your vision is clear, the next question is, what is the plan? How will how will you live with purpose? How will you move toward your vision? How will you carry out your mission? Okay. That's where the vision plan, okay, or what I now teach as your vision plus goals come in. And here's the best part of this, you don't need to know every detail before you start, you just need to begin. A lot of times, I don't know if any of you are like me, I'm one of these people, everything has to be perfect. I have to have all the stuff. I have to know all the stuff. So what I find myself sometimes or a lot of times is that's my stomach you hear growling. I am researching everything. I've researched the research to the research and I don't get anything done. So that's called, I think it's called analysis paralysis. And that's tied into perfectionism. So that's something I know about myself, right? Which is why I wanted to mention it's not about perfection, it's about progression. So we're going to talk about why writing down your vision matters. According to a study by Gail Mathers, a sister, a psychology professor at Dominican University, you are 42% more likely to achieve your goals just by writing them down. That's why I encourage you to write your personal mission statement by hand in a notebook or a journal and not just type it. There's a power in putting pen to paper. It signals to your brain and spirit, okay, this matters. And it's one of the reasons why, and I'll talk a little bit more about my personal vision workbook later, but it's why I won't have that as an ebook because I firmly believe in writing this stuff down. Okay. So let me check the chat to see if there's any questions and comments. Okay. Uh-oh. That's my stomach, you guys. I didn't eat today. Oh, my god brother is here. Rob. He says, thanks for the invite to your channel. Very informative. You're welcome. I'm sorry. I should have sent that yesterday to you. You guys, what happens in my family, I send them a text to let them know, hey, we live. You know how family is. You let them know and you still got to let them know again. That's how we do. So welcome, welcome. And even though this chat is, my channel is geared towards Black women, we have men in here. We have non-Black people in here. Everybody welcome. If you can take a little piece of the pie and apply it to your life, you're welcome. Okay. That's that on that. So I want to talk about creating your personal vision. When you do this, um, asking yourself several questions will help you to get started. Okay, so to help you get started, reflect on these questions. One of them is, and you've probably heard this before, if money were not an object, I would, and you fill in the blank. Again, if money were not a problem or not an object, I would what? If I could change anything in my life, I would change whatever that is. I would move to Africa. I would, you know, uh, switch jobs. Okay. I would do whatever the thing is. Another question. I would have more joy if I improved in the following areas of my life. I would have more joy if I improved in the following areas of my life. So you don't want to rush these things. You kind of just want to let them marinate. Okay. And let me copy and see if I could put those in the chat for you. And again, you can watch the replay. Okay. So maybe that'll be helpful for some folks that might want to copy that down. Again, if you don't get everything and you don't have time to write everything down, that's okay. The replay is available. Okay. And it's going to be available after this stream. Next, the components of a personal vision. Your personal vision might include goals in areas like career, like family, okay, like health and wellness, finances, personal growth, spiritual growth, renewal and recreation, social relationships, and any other thing, okay? These are some of the things I talk about in my workbook, but you can write it on anything. And we'll talk more about the workbook. I may talk about it a little later, depending on how much time I have. But, you want to have your personal vision for different areas. Again, that'll be helpful for you when it's time for you to uh, to look at how things are working out for you. Okay. All righty. So I'm going to go over the suggested format for when you're writing your vision statement. So, and you can use it as a guide. You want to have a date, the date that you wrote out this vision. Why? Because later you want to kind of compare and see, this is how far I've come. You want to have a vision where you want to be. You want to have motivation. Why does this matter? Why did I make this goal for myself? And you want to have some strategies, some vision strategies. What steps can I take? You also want to include an area of reflections, so that you can go back and reassess, what am I learning along the way? How far am I? How have I progressed? Do I need to make some pivots, some adjustments, some modifications, and some changes? Which, let me tell you, life be lifing, right? Like the kids say. So sometimes you might have to make some changes, and that's okay. That's okay. One thing we know how to do in our community is we know how to pivot. Okay. We probably should come up with a dance called the pivot. I might could do that. I'm always coming up with dances. Do the pivot, do the pivot, do the pivot. Do the pivot. Okay. So we know how to do it, right? You want to have a section of rewards. You want to celebrate your progress, no matter how small it is. Don't judge yourself. If yesterday, let's say one of your goals is to get healthier, and you have decided that one of the ways to do this is to start walking. And let's say that you walked, maybe you walked one lap, and you don't have to do it fast. You walked one lap. So when you do your reflections, and you can look back and say, "Hey, I walked a lap." Celebrate that, because that is a lot more than what you've been walking. Now, somebody else might be, they might be running 2 or 3 laps, miles maybe. This is not about comparing yourself to others. This is about comparing yourself to you, okay? And seeing, hey, this is how I'm progressing, okay? And remember, again, this is not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. Now, I wanted to do an exercise, but I wanted to get you guys out of here early. But I think I'm going to go ahead and do it. So, and if we don't finish it, that's okay. So, what we're going to do is let's take about a minute or so. It says 2 to 3 minutes, but let's just do a minute or so to write 1 to 2 sentences, and I'll put it in the chat box. In fact, let me do that now so you can read it while I'm doing it. Uh-oh. Oh, let me do this. Hold on a second. So the exercise, hold on, let me type this in here. I probably look, I got people doing the pivot dance. Okay. We gonna dance, and we gonna find a reason to celebrate. Okay. And I'm gonna change this to 1 to 2 minutes. And I'm gonna say write 1 sentence just to make it easy so we can get out describing. I'm having to fix this because it's more than okay. All right. So I'm gonna have to do this in 2 parts. There we go. It's too many. Okay, here we go. All right, there we go. Had to split it up. Okay, so what we're going to do for the exercise, let's take about a minute and write 1 sentence describing what you see when you envision your best, most fulfilled life. If you're comfortable, you can type a piece of it in the chat box. No pressure and no wrong answers here. Now, if really the question really is supposed to be 2 sentences, well, I shouldn't say supposed to be. You can do 1 to 2 sentences, or however many sentences you want. So even after this live is over with, you can come back to this and add some more stuff to it. So let's just take a minute or so to write something that that you see for your future, when you think about, when you envision your best, most fulfilled life. And let's just take about a minute. Okay, let me look and see. And if you want, you can write them in the chat pot. Some people, okay, Colette, let me know when you record that pivot hustle dance so I can learn it. I will, Danny. I'll start it. I'll let you know. Sonia says, do the pivot. Hey, you just do the pivot. Hey, to the pivot. You guys get to see my twist out today. It's going back in braids because I was telling my mom it was hot last night. Gloria says, do the pivot. Hey, yeah, Gloria, do the pivot. I know you know how to do it. Uh-oh, my phone is getting ready to die. All right, anybody want to put their answers in the chat pod? If not, that's okay. But if you do, just go ahead and write your little sentence in there and, and we can move on. And if you don't get a chance to write it, we are going to be taking a stretch break in a few seconds, about a minute or so. You can just do it then. Okay. Chineri said, if money were not an object, I would spend my time traveling, rotating locations every few months. See, that's right. I love it. Thank you. Anybody else want to share? That's what fulfillment looks like for my for Chineri. Okay. All righty. So I'm going to go ahead and move on. When you don't have a vision, it's easy to drift, easy to get pulled in different directions, easy to lose momentum. But when you have a clear vision written down and rooted in your purpose, you'll wake up with clarity, with direction, with confidence. Envision it, write it, become it. That's the journey we're on. Even the Bible says, where there is no vision, the people perish. Some versions say the people run wild. Okay, that's in Proverbs 29:18. So having a vision is very, very important. When you have that clear vision written down and rooted in your purpose, you wake up with clarity, direction, and confidence. So again, envision it, write it, become it. And this is why it becomes important to understand what drives your mission, who it impacts, and how it shows up in real life. And that leads us right into how we begin to shape our personal mission statement. Okay. But before we do that, let's take like a 2 to 3 minute stretch break. I know some of you have been sitting all day and you've been doing a lot of reflecting and note taking. Let's stand up, shake it off, roll those shoulders, stretch those legs, grab some water if you need it. Okay. This break is also symbolic. We're literally shifting from vision to mission, from what you see to what you do. So let your body stretch into the next step. I'll see you in 2 minutes. Just type ready in the chat when you're back and good to go. And I'll put this in the chat to remind you. Okay. And I am going to go to the restroom. Let's see. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. I'll be back in a minute. I'm still here. I'll just be back. Hey, fella. I'm recording. I'm recording. I don't know what you guys just heard. I forgot to close my door to my office when I went out on my break. And my nephew, I don't know what he playing, but you might hear some yelling and screaming. I forgot to tell him, hey, Kamani, welcome. I forgot to tell. I have a sign on the door that says recording, but they don't care. He might come knocking on the door right now. I think I hear him. Okay, so let's welcome back from the break. And I'm going to read some of the chat. Let's see. I read Chanary's. If I'm spending, I have Sarah Logan. Hey, Sarah, welcome back. I'm spending more quality time with loved ones. Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. Let's see. Gloria says, sitting by the ocean, retired. Ooh, I like that already, Gloria. Enjoying lots of fruits of my labor, feeling fulfilled, enjoying all God's blessings. My mom, Wealthy Mac, says, live on a ship and sail around the world to visit different cultures in different countries. All right. And let's see. My mom is texting me. I don't know if she's having problems. Oh, my mom says a perfect example for what you're saying to me is from the movie Mahogany. The theme song, Where Are You Going To? Do you know what life? She says she can't remember it all. And my mom told me next time to remember to silence my mic or put some music on. Thank you, Mama. Yeah, I probably should have. I don't know how to silence. Oh, that's how you mute it. Oh, I see. Okay, I'll mute it next time. I know it's no telling what he in there saying and yelling. Okay, so let's get back into the lesson. So Sonia says she's ready. Okay, welcome back. Now that we have spent time visualizing the life you feel called to live, the vision, it's time to shift into action. And that begins with your mission. Your personal mission statement details the strategy that you'll use to achieve your personal vision, which we talked about earlier. And for those of you who missed that part of it, the live stream replay is available for day one, and the live stream for today will be available right after we end this live stream. Okay, so don't worry about it. And don't worry about trying to take all the notes because, again, you can watch the live stream. So, again, your personal mission statement details the strategy you'll use to achieve your personal vision. It's more than a statement, it's your outline, your map, your approach to fulfilling the vision God has placed in your heart. While your vision answers the question, where am I going? Okay. Your mission answers, how will I get there? We kind of talked about that earlier. This is where the intention meets movement. Okay. And my mom said earlier, it reminds her of the song from Mahogany, where are you going to? Do you know where you're going to? This is why it becomes important to understand what drives your mission, who it impacts, and how it shows up in real life. And that leads us right into how we begin to shape our personal or your personal mission statement. Okay. So we talked already about the personal vision statement. Now we're going to get into your personal mission statement. Remember, this is your how. Okay. So your personal mission statement is a clear, action oriented declaration of how you intend to live your life, to live out your purpose and to make your vision a reality, right? So we're taking it from intention to reality. Okay. Now, let me say this. You'll often hear purpose statement and vision statement used interchangeably. You hear it all the time, and that's okay because mission flows from purpose. But for the purpose of this workshop, we're going to define it like this. Purpose is your why, okay? Vision is your what, and mission is your how, okay? Purpose is your why, vision is your what, and mission is your how. Let's explore the three elements of your mission statement. So, the first element of your mission statement, number one, are your core values. Your core values will form the foundation of your mission statement. You want to start with your core values, your guiding principles, or your fundamental belief. This is the internal compass that shapes how you live, how you love, how you lead, and how you serve. Your core values reflect what truly matters to you, what you want your life to represent. How do you want to show up in this life? It should be authentic to who you are, that it shows up in everything you do. So let me just give you a few. This is just a few examples of core values: compassion, integrity, justice, excellence, love. Some people call that mercy, empowerment, boldness, generosity. Your core value is the why behind your how. That's why it's all tied up into your purpose. And you can kind of see how this all flows together. So let's say your core value is compassion. That means you are committed to showing up with empathy, care, and understanding, even when it's inconvenient or uncomfortable. It might show up in how you care for your family, how you listen to your friends, or even how you lead at work. For example, you may say, I choose to lead with compassion, right? And that's whether, excuse me, that's whether I'm comforting a loved one, you're supporting a team member, right? A girlfriend of yours, supporting a girlfriend, or setting boundaries with grace. I believe everyone is going through something, and I want to be the kind of person that offers kindness without judgment. That's if compassion is one of your core values. This is how that might look. When compassion is your core value, it influences how you respond to others, not from a place of pressure, but from a place of purpose, right? Because it's just a part of who you are, it's your constitution. Again, it becomes the why behind your how, the reason you show up the way you do, even when it's hard. Okay. And again, if you have any questions or comments, mostly if you have questions, don't forget to put them in the chat and put the Q in front of it so that I can identify it. Let me check to see if we have anything in the chat. Okay. Amari says, I would buy minerally rich land and develop a community of like-minded, productive, harmonious people. And I think that she is referring to earlier we did our exercise. Thank you. This is great. I love that. I love that. It's very thought out, and I like it. It's thinking about the planet, the resources. It's resourceful. Okay. So now we're going to talk about the second component. I said third. The second component of our mission statement, your verbs, the action, your verbs, because your mission requires movement, right? Verbs give your mission life. They show how you plan to activate your purpose. So when you're thinking about your verbs, you can ask yourself several questions. One, what actions light me up? These are questions you're asking yourself. What do I do naturally when I'm helping others? What kind of impact do I want to make? And you notice that all of these have to do with your own personal held beliefs, right? And it also is looking at your legacy and how you want to show up and how you want to be seen to yourself first and to others. Examples, and this is just a few, example of verbs include empower, build, heal, teach, advocate, mentor, create, lead, connect, and encourage. Those are just a few examples, and there are a lot more, okay? One of my verbs is empower. And sis, let me tell you, when I'm empowering women, people in general, I know I'm in my lane. That's my mission in motion, okay? Let's say your verb is to encourage. Okay. That means that your natural instinct, and that's one of my verbs, is to uplift, reassure, and remind others of their strength and their worth. Maybe you're the one your friends call when they're doubting themselves, or the person who leaves kind notes and sends uplifting text messages, or simply sits with someone when they feel low. You might say, I encourage by speaking life into others. I remind them of who they are when they forget, whether it's through a conversation, a smile, or a quick text message. I want people to feel seen, valued, hopeful after they've been with me. Now, encouragement might seem small, but it is so powerful. When encourage is your verb, your mission becomes about creating safe, affirming spaces where people can breathe, where they can believe again and keep going. So that's one of the reasons I created this channel. I wanted a place where Black women can get together and just breathe. We have things we're dealing with, and it's so much on our shoulders. And while my content is curated for Black women, other people join and watch my lives and watch the channel, and they benefit as well. Got people calling me. I'm so sorry. I thought I turned this thing off. I don't know why that thing keep going off. Maybe I just need to turn. Oh, I know I didn't put it on silent. I'm sorry. But anyway, that's one of the reasons I created the channel, right? And I do have situations where sometimes people ask me, you have a very specific audience, and I do. But one of the ways I answer that is I say, when I go into a men's clothing store and I buy a men's shirt and it doesn't fit my curves the way I'd like it to, it doesn't hug, in the areas I like it to hug, I can still wear the shirt, but I went into a men's shop. And I'm saying all that to say that the channel is open to everyone, and I encourage all kind of people, but that is one of the reasons why I started this channel, okay? Is to encourage folks so that they can feel safe. Number 3, the third component, your tribe. And that's what we were just talking about. These are the people your mission is here to bless, to support, or to impact. You may have a heart for women and girls, single moms, new believers, entrepreneurs, creatives, young ladies, seniors, people in transition, right? Identifying your tribe doesn't mean you exclude others. It simply means that you know who you were called to prioritize. Who you are called to prioritize, design for, and focus on. I always say, I am called to serve the underdog, the Black women, and young leaders. Others can benefit too, but these are the people that I'm called to serve. Doesn't mean that if you don't fit in that category or any of those boxes, I'm going to say, I'm not going to help you. That's not how it works for me anyway. Okay. So you might choose up to 3 groups for your focus or more. I say 3 because you want to make sure that you're very focused so that you're not thrown off. Okay. So let's get into, let me look at the comments, and I know we're over the hour. Okay. All right. Can you guys give me a few more minutes and we'll be done? There's another exercise. Let's just take a moment, and we're not going to spend any time, like 30 seconds. Take a moment and jot down one core value you want to live by, 2 or 3 verbs that reflect how you move in the world, and up to 3 groups you were called to serve. And I will put this in the chat box, and what you can do, because we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. What you can do is you can do this as homework before the challenge. Let me just put that in here. Paste. And if anybody wants to share one of their core values or their verb, please feel free to do so. And just type your information in the chat. No pressure. Okay. Now, if you'd like a bit more guidance around your vision and mission and space to write it all out, I created a personal vision and mission statement workbook for Black women, and it's available on Amazon. It includes prompts and space to clearly articulate your personal vision statement as well as your personal mission statement for each goal area. Okay, there's dedicated space to write down your motivation for choosing to focus on this growth. We'll go through these prompts during the upcoming 5-day challenge, which I'll talk about a little later. Again, the workbook is not required to participate in the 5-day challenge. You can absolutely just use you can use a journal, or you can just write it down on a notebook or your journal, whatever you have. Okay. But I just wanted to make sure that you are aware that this is available. I will put a link. I'll put the link in the chat box, and I will also have it as a pinned comment to this video. You will also be able to find it in my on the home page of my YouTube channel, and it's also in the description. And I just want to show you briefly what it looks like for those who have never seen it. It is a beautiful book. It is beautifully designed. You can see it's pretty thick, 178 colored pages. There's a section, like this section is for spiritual growth. There's a section, let me see if you can see that, where you can write your vision, section to write your mission, okay, your motivation. And there's I have like this one that I showed you, that is for spiritual growth. Then we have sections for social relationships. I even have sections in here for, like, let's say that the 8 that I included on here, the 8 areas, you have something else you want to write. So I have some customized areas. So you can write, you know, like say it's retirement, you can write that here. Inside, I also have an area where I give samples of how, examples of how to use this book. This light is kind of, maybe, can you see it better now? So spend a lot of time. It's very pretty. As you can see, I love it. And so that's what this challenge is about. So let's go ahead and talk. I want to share what some people have written in the comments. Chineri wrote her core value is gratitude. Her verbs are encourage, discover, and teach. Thank you so much for sharing. Amari Ture, she says accountability is her core value. Sonia says her core value is compassion. Her verbs are promote, educate, and organize. Okay. So now let's, and I'm sorry, you guys, we're over a little bit. I'll try to get this. We're actually done. We're going to just do a recap. So let's take a moment to breathe in. You just completed a powerful 2-day journey of self-discovery. And I meant to say thank you all for sharing in the chat. You showed up for you, and that matters. Over these 2 sessions, we've clarified your purpose. We've explored your personal vision. We've learned how to shape the personal vision statement. We've identified your mission, the how, and if you haven't, that's okay. And we have gotten an idea of how to craft a framework for your personal mission statement. Now, the objective of this workshop was really simple. It was to help you understand the power of having a personal vision and mission, and to give you tools and language to own and live that vision with intention. And sis, that's exactly what you've started doing. Okay. Now, I just want to tell you that this workshop happened and was created in direct response to you, to this community. A few months ago, I posted a poll asking what kind of content you wanted to see next. And the overwhelming response, it was number 2, was around clarity, purpose, and direction. So this personal vision and mission workshop was for you because you asked for it. And I pray that it went well. I do want, before we wrap up, I do want to give a few quick reminders. The full replay of this session, as well as yesterday's session, is available immediately. So if you missed something, don't even worry about it. You can go back through it, take your time, it's there. If you have a question after the live ends, drop it in the comments. I read and respond almost daily. If you're watching this replay from the future, hey sis, I want to hear from you too. So drop your reflections and questions below in the comments as well. Please share this session with a sister friend who's ready to get clear about her life. And go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the YouTube algorithm share it out with more people. So I want to briefly talk about what's next. Now, if this stirred you, if it stirred something in you and you're ready to go even deeper, I want to invite you to our next step, the free 5-day personal vision and mission challenge. It starts next week, October 13th, and will run through October 17th, right here live on YouTube. We'll meet each day for a short focus session, somewhere between 30 and 45 minutes tops. just enough to give you a piece without overwhelming you. And what we'll be doing is we will be crafting a personal vision and mission statement for one area of your life. During that week, I will personally guide you step by step through writing your own personal and vision statement, like I said, for one specific area of your life, whether that's motherhood, healing, career, finances, or purpose. You'll walk away with clarity, language that reflects who you really are, and a sense of direction that aligns with your purpose. So, who is this for? The free challenge is for any woman or man, any person who's in a season of transition, whether personal or professional. Maybe you're entering a new chapter, recovering from a hard one, like there was 300 and something thousand Black women laid off. Perfect for them because they're making some changes. So if you know any of them, share this link with them. Or just tired of drifting, you want clarity, you want focus, you want to finish this year strong, and we can still do it. You want your goals to exactly reflect your values, your priorities, and your becoming. If that's you, this 5-day challenge was designed with you in mind. Come through. Now, once I schedule the challenge, the lives for the challenge sessions, if you're already subscribed to the channel, all you have to do is go to the homepage on the YouTube channel here and click the notify me button. And I should have those up probably by, well, not tomorrow. I have a workshop. I'll have them up in a few days. That's why we're having this during the week because I have 2 workshops I'm attending. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and click the bell so that you won't miss a thing. You're notified whenever I post things. So I want to talk about homework and preparation for the challenge. Here's a little pre-work to help you get ready. Again, choose one goal area that you want to focus on during the 5-day challenge. Now, it could be one of the 8 defined areas from my workbook: spiritual growth, personal growth, and I'll put them in the chat pot. Spiritual growth, personal growth, health and wellness, family, professional growth, financial stability, social relationships, renewal and recreation, or something entirely different. Okay? This is your life, your journey, you decide. Let me put those 8 in the chat pot. And I might do those as a pinned comment too, so that it'll be easier for you. That might be easier for some people. So let me put those there. Okay, so here they are in the chat. And I think the chat will let you copy and paste them. I don't know. The other thing I do encourage you to do in preparation for the 5-day challenge is to rewatch the replay of the 2-day workshop if you missed anything over the weekend. It's an easy listen. So, even if you've already seen it, watch it again. I know Sonia said she saw it. Watch it with fresh eyes. It's late, so some of us are tired, and I get that. You'll notice new insights, catch things you missed, and feel more confident heading into the challenge. And again, if you have questions, you can drop those in comments. Now, I'm going to ask you for 2 quick favors, sis. One favor: if this workshop is a blessing to you, would you drop a comment on this video after the live ends? And that's different from the chat box, but in the comment section under the video. So once this video goes out, once it ends, you'll see the comments. If you could drop a comment in there, something simple, you could write like it was helpful, thank you, or even drop just an emoji. That little action helps YouTube to see this content is valuable, and it helps it to reach more women who need it. So I want to thank you so much for that. The second favor I have is I'd love your feedback. In a few days, I'll post a quick poll, and you'll be able to find that poll under the post tab on my YouTube channel. When you go to the homepage, you'll see post, and then you can go ahead and go there and take the polls, and it'll ask you about about this workshop. Your voice matters, and I want to make sure that I create what I create is actually serving you. So when you see the poll, just take about 15 seconds. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Okay. And let's see. Before I log off tonight, I want to remind you of this. There's something beautiful unfolding in your life, even if you can't see the full picture yet. You were created with intention. You're not behind. You're not too late. And everything you've walked through is leading you somewhere on purpose. I'm so proud of you for showing up. And I believe with my whole heart that clarity, confidence, and vision are meeting you in this session. Thank you for letting me walk alongside you. I cannot wait to see you uncover the things you need to uncover during the challenge. And I said, sis, I should say sis and brothers, because my God brother Rob is on the line. Okay. Tonight, if something stirred you, drop a purple heart or whatever you want in the chat. So I know you're leaving with something real. I love y'all. Rest well, and I'll see you for the challenge. Let me look before we log off. If you're walking away with something real tonight, you can put it down in the chat pot. Again, I'll repeat that. And I'll stay a few minutes if people have questions. I'll stay on a few minutes longer. Oh, Ike said, I'm here too. Welcome, little brother. So I have to say that because I do have men that attend the lives. So I want to shout out Ike. I want to shout out my brother Rob, and I want to shout out everyone for attending. If you want to share something that you learned tonight, or that resonates with you, you can type that in the chat. No pressure. I pray that you leave this space affirmed, encouraged, and just a little more confident in the direction you're heading. So let me look at the chat, and see what we have going on there. Oh, thank you. I got all the hearts. Thank you so much. I'll wait a few more minutes before I end the stream. Okay. Sonia says, powerful 2-day sessions. Thank you, Sonia. I appreciate it. I really do. Anybody else? Okay. Well, I'll stay for a few seconds. If you want to hang up or log out, you can. Anybody who has any questions, I'll wait about another minute or 30 seconds or so. You can put it in the chat. If not, you can put it in the comments. Again, don't forget to go to the comments after I end the stream and just put something in there. Can you do it for today? And if you want to do it, you want to really help me out, do it for yesterday's as well. That way YouTube will push these out. Again, I want to thank you all for trusting me with your time. And I will see you guys next week for the 5-day free challenge. Share this with as many women or people you think this can help. Talk to you soon. Love you. Bye.